The distress beacon pierced through the void of space like a dying star's last breath. Ambassador Keyleth of the Vryn Collective clutched the console as another explosion rocked their vessel, her tertiary hearts racing in patterns her species associated with imminent death. Around her, the bridge crew worked frantically, their bioluminescent skin flickering in panicked Morse code. The Kravik Armada is closing in, her tactical officer reported, his voice trembling. Shields at 12%. We have perhaps 10 minutes before they breach the hull. Keyleth stared at the view screen where 3 massive Kravik dreadnoughts advanced like predators cornering wounded prey. Her people had been explorers, diplomats, traders, never warriors. The galaxy's countless peaceful civilizations had believed their collective voice would deter aggression. They had been catastrophically wrong. The message, Keyleth whispered. Did our distress call reach anyone? Yes, Ambassador. One response. But the communications officer hesitated, his fear scent intensifying. It came from a forbidden zone. From Sol 3. A collective gasp rippled through the bridge. Sol 3, Earth. The death world that every civilized species had quarantined after first contact. A planet so lethally hostile that its dominant species had evolved through constant warfare. Against their environment, against their predators, against each other. Humans, they called themselves. The only sentient species in known space to have thrived on a Class 12 hazard world. What did they say? Keyleth asked, though protocol demanded she ignore any communication from that cursed system. The officer's tendrils shook as he read. Coordinates received. Cavalry's coming. Hold tight. Cavalry? Another crew member whispered. What does that mean? Before anyone could answer, the ship shuddered violently. The Kravik were preparing their final assault. Keyleth closed her eyes, whispering prayers to the silent stars. At least the end would be swift. Then something impossible happened. 3 human vessels tore through the fabric of space itself, their quantum drives leaving reality scars that made Keyleth's eyes water. They were smaller than the Kravik dreadnoughts, sleeker, and covered in armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Warning symbols in humanity's language, symbols Keyleth recognized from the quarantine protocols, adorned their hulls. Skull and crossbones. Lethal force authorized. Abandon hope. The lead human ship opened a channel. A face appeared on screen. A creature with forward-facing predator's eyes, exposed skin vulnerable to vacuum, and a smile that showed flat, crushing teeth alongside disturbingly sharp canines. This is Captain Maria Santos of the UHSN Indomitable. We got your SOS. Sorry we're late, had to break a few galactic laws to get here. Her smile widened impossibly. Now which ones are the bad guys? Before Keyleth could respond, the Kravik commander's hologram flickered to life, his armored form bristling with weapons. Humans, you dare violate the quarantine accords? Leave now or share this prey's fate. Captain Santos laughed, a sound that made Keyleth's survival instincts scream. Here's the thing about humans, Santos said, her voice dropping to something cold and ancient. We don't abandon people who call for help. Even if they're the same folks who locked us away and called us monsters. The Kravik fired first. Plasma cannons that could vaporize asteroids lit up the void. The human ships didn't dodge. They flew straight into the barrage, their shields flaring colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. And then they returned fire. Keyleth had seen weapons before. Particle beams, antimatter missiles, gravity wells. But human weapons were different. They didn't just destroy. They terrified. Railguns that accelerated tungsten rods to relativistic speeds, turning them into kinetic apocalypse. Missiles that didn't explode but instead released swarms of nanomachines that ate through hulls like metallic piranhas, and something the humans called a plasma lance, a focused beam that didn't just pierce shields but ignored them entirely. The first Kravik dreadnought lasted 47 seconds. Target 2 is attempting to flee, reported the tactical officer aboard Santos's ship, his voice disturbingly cheerful. Standard pursuit protocol, Santos replied. Disable engines, then offer surrender. What followed wasn't a battle. It was a demonstration. The humans moved their ships with impossible precision, as if the vessels were extensions of their own bodies. They communicated in rapid bursts, their tactics shifting faster than Keyleth could follow. They fought like a pack of apex predators that had hunted together for millennia. The second dreadnought lost its propulsion systems and hung dead in space. The third managed to charge its quantum drive, attempting escape. The humans let it run for exactly 12 seconds. Then another human ship, one Calith hadn't even seen, materialized directly in the fleeing vessel's path and fired a single shot through its bridge. Silence fell across the battlefield. Debris drifted lazily, reflecting the light of distant stars. The human ships regrouped around Calith's damaged vessel, assuming a defensive formation. Captain Santos's face reappeared on screen, her expression softening slightly. "You folks all right? Do you need medical assistance? We've got evac shuttles ready." Calith found her voice after several attempts. You saved us, but why? Our people imprisoned yours. We declared your world forbidden. Your species too dangerous for civilized space." Santos's expression became unreadable. "Yeah, well, maybe that's exactly why we came. See, you peaceful species, you're not wrong about us. We are dangerous. We evolved on a planet that tries to kill us every day. Gravity that would crush most species. Weather that swings from boiling to freezing. Predators, parasites, diseases. Earth throws everything at us." She leaned forward, those predator eyes intense. "But that same world taught us something else. It taught us that the strong protect the weak. That when someone calls for help, you answer. That survival isn't just about being tough. It's about working together. About refusing to give up. About running toward danger instead of away from it." Santos gestured to the debris field. "You called us Deathworlders, monsters. And maybe you're right. But we're your monsters now. Because humans have a saying, not on our watch. Someone sent out an SOS. Someone needed help. And we don't care if you fear us or hate us or never want to see us again after this." Her smile returned, warm this time. "We came anyway, because that's what humans do." Calith felt tears forming in her optical organs. Around the bridge, her crew stared at the screens with something between terror and awe. These creatures from the nightmare world, these apex predators in metal ships, they had crossed the galaxy to save strangers who had treated them as pariahs. "Thank you," Calith whispered. "Thank you, Deathworlders." "Anytime, Ambassador," Santos replied. "Now let's get you home. And maybe, just maybe, your people might reconsider that quarantine. The galaxy's a dangerous place. Could use a few Deathworlders watching your backs." As the human ships escorted the damaged Vrin vessel toward safe space, Calith knew their civilization would never be the same. They had learned a terrible, wonderful truth. Sometimes the most dangerous species in the galaxy were also the most heroic. And humanity had just proven they were both.